The question we are most afraid to ask ourselves is also the most interesting one. What happens when what you call you ceases to exist? Nothingness? A heaven? Although we will probably never know, there is an optimistic theory that joins the realm of possibilities, and it just might be the one that gets you to rethink your entire existence.
GlobalBazaar.com.
To first grasp this puzzling theory, we must first ask what we mean when we talk about myself. What most people identify with is their ego, or the bag of skin that they are encapsulated around. But when we do a deep analysis, we see that what we actually consider to be ourselves is what we do, the intentional actions that we do. But much of what this ego does is automatic, without us thinking about having to do it. Is it you that's beating your heart or digesting food? Is it you when you're asleep? You don't know how you do these things, and yet we still say we did them. With this information, it makes you think, what else could actually be me that I'm doing without thinking about? You see, the ego is simply a smaller part of everything else our consciousness is doing, and we think this way because of how we were brought up. Who do you think it was that instilled in your mind that this is who you are and what reality is? Your parents. As children, our minds are extremely malleable to new ideas, and we believe almost everything our mothers and fathers tell us, and that shapes our entire reality. This had a huge impact on the way we think about death. It has become extremely plausible because of the way we think of our ego that we are just this body, which has to mean that once this body turns off, we are gone forever. But we just proved to you that you are so much more than this ego. So what really happens then? With our newfound sense of self, we understand that we are this entire universe. Without our eyes with which to make light, our ears with which to make sound, and our sensory receptors with which to give us the sensation of touch, none of what is around us would be here. We are the universe experiencing itself through a small lens. And since the universe as we know it could be infinite, it could mean you live on through some other experience or entity. Now, am I saying that reincarnation exists or that you will come back as some other living being? While these are possible, you will come to find that these are just a couple of the many theories that could arise from this new way of thinking. The highlight of this analysis on life is this: anything could be possible after death. We could come back in a parallel universe, or we could come back in a completely different universe altogether. But restricting your thoughts to that one singular idea, that when we die we have an experience like sleeping without dreaming that happens forever, is not only a close-minded way to think, but also a pessimistic one. What's the use thinking this way about death when it will only cause you more suffering while you're still in this ego? It is irrational to decide that your belief on life after death is one where you are afraid of it and dread of its inevitable coming. So understand it's a belief and start exploring more ideas about death that make this lens of the universe a lens you want to look through. Thank you for listening, and I hope we were able to expand your consciousness. For more information like this, head over to GlobalBazaar.com.